Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for y'all being here. Look at that little girl right there. She might make a guest appearance today. You just never know. Hey, folks, AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me unmute this for a second so I can make sure the audio is going well. Again, thank you. And my mic actually came off the stand literally right before this started. So I need to tighten that up a little bit. Anyway, folks, hey, I hope y'all are all doing well. We've been super busy the last couple of days. Sorry I hadn't had a chance to have a live stream in quite a while, but give me a second. All right, so the audio is sounding fine. Let me know if you're having any issues with the audio. We are monitoring all of that fun stuff. Let me move this over here so I can see y'all. We got the chat. We got everything going on. Hey, and again, thank you so much. Sorry, we just had a lot of logistics going on. If this is your first time ever stopping by here, we normally come here every Friday as a Q&A to try and answer and help with whatever questions you have with media ministry. I don't hide the fact that I don't know everything, folks, but hopefully with this community that we've built, I can point you in a direction, or there's somebody in the community that is able to help you. I hope to just make this a little bit easier. The reason I did this is when I first started with media ministry, there wasn't really anything out there, or people put it behind a humongous paywall, and they didn't want to give that information out. So the more I learned, I wanted to put it and make it available to help with everybody. So that's what we do, and we just have this every Friday to try and answer y'all's questions. With that being said, if you have any other further questions, because we don't want to dominate just one person here on the Q&A. If you need some more questions, and if I don't get to your question, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond, and that's about it. And the community, we're all up on Facebook. It's like this all the time, where you can ask your questions. Don't advertise. Don't put your live stream in the group, because you will get kicked out for that. But just go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, answer the 3 questions, which goes over the very things I just said. No cross promotion, no trying to sell nothing. Don't try and post a live stream inside that group. And that's it. You're going to be automatically in once you answer those 3 questions. What other stuff do we have to go over? There's something that is going to be happening 8 days from now. And I am very, very excited about this one, folks. We got a bunch of people on here that are actually going to be doing this. This is our second e-missionary conference that is going to be July 13th and August 10th. It is completely online and right in the nick of time, literally around 2 o'clock in the morning, the new flyer that I ended up hiring somebody else to do came through. And here you go, folks. I have it on the community tab. We have it on Facebook and everything like this. These are our speakers. I have 2 other speakers that are in here. I don't have their picture. Dr. Yano is going to be teaching on AI. And then we also have Mario, who is actually from Shure. He's actually going to be presenting. He's actually sending a pre-recorded video for a session talking about Shure solutions and audio and stuff like that to enhance your ministry. So those are the 2 people that are there. This is just for the July 13th. If you are interested in becoming a teacher, we are still open for you to be a part of that, but it will have to be on August 10th. All of these sessions are live. If you get your ticket there, you can attend all of these live. And if I go over here to the website, come over here to Media Ministry mentor.com/conference. And here's all our teachers there. Goes over the sessions. Tickets are $100. It gives you access to everything. Watch them live. If you miss it, you can always go back and watch any of them right when the live stream is over. But if you are interested in being a teacher, we're still open to have more teachers for the August session. Just fill in the information down here, and you are good to go. And I think that is about it when it comes to that. Also, just want to give a big thank you for all the people who are still purchasing my book. Version 2, the Modern Media Ministry is Now Necessary, is there. If you still wanted autographed ones, I still got about a few of them here at home that you can order directly through me website. If I cut over here, I think I already pressed that one. There we go. If you go here and you go to shop and you go to books, I have a few of these left if you want them to be signed. If not, you can always just get them from Amazon. We have Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. I don't know if you can actually see it. Oh, they're actually on the steps. You're not going to be able to see them from there. Let's see. Can we turn that camera so you can see it? So if we cut over, so you see I got a bunch of them right there. So we got some more on hand. It's another one, some more upstairs there. If you are interested in getting that, but like I said, thank you so much for the support on all who have purchased those. And I am doing some gymnastics and all of this stuff. Also, if you ever wanted to support and get any of our merch, that is on emissionarygear.com. And what's the last one? We want to get your shout outs, folks. If you got pictures of your team, go ahead and send them here to questions at ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team. Put a picture of your team. Tell me where you're from, your ministry name, so I can shout out your team, because some of y'all, all of y'all, are doing great stuff. And I want to use this platform to kind of shout y'all out. So I think that is about it. Let's go ahead and holler at some folks now that I minimize presenter so I can get here to the comments here. Let's see who is on with us today. Michael, hey, good morning. Anthony, hey, sir. Darius, hello, hello. One of our other teachers here, Bruce from Texas, hey, good morning. Anthony, hello, hello. I'll get to your question. Antonio, what is going on? Mr. Clarence, hello. Reverend Leroy, how you doing, sir? Keith, good morning, good morning. Rob, another one of our teachers here. Hello from Chesapeake. Another teacher, Mr. Albert, hello, sir. Nikolaos, thank you for subscribing. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Tammy, good morning. Jay, good morning to you. John Cook, hello, hello. Scott, how are you doing? Cal-El, not Superman, or maybe you are. I don't know. Cal-El 08, hello, hello. We got another man, the myth, the legend, and another teacher here. Monty Weaver, good morning, sir. Jerry from North Dakota, hello, hello. You said my mic is low. I got it. Maybe I just need to. I'm all the way to the floor on that one. So I just got to bring this closer here, and I'll make sure to not deviate away from this. Let's see. Philip Paul, hello. Richard from New York, hello. All right, folks, what I need from y'all, if you have any questions, please start it with a Q and a colon, semicolon, whichever one, so it makes it jump out immediately. And let us fire away. And like I said, you never know. I might have someone show up as a guest appearance. Hold on one second. Let me actually do that. Ayana! Sorry for yelling like that. Folks, she's probably locked in, and I didn't want to do my trigger word here. Hold on one second. If you have any Android devices, hold on a second. Hey, Google, broadcast a message. What's the message? Ayana, come down here and say hello to everyone. Okay, broadcasting now. All right, hopefully y'all's stuff didn't go off when I said that. Tangela, hey, good morning. I'm going to do to the conference real quick. The conference is actually starting at 8 a.m. You don't have to be there. That's just going to be my main. I start at 8, just talking about what this whole thing is and everything. And there we go. There's our guest appearance. Come here, little girl. Okay. Here, can you put this in your ear so you can at least hear yourself? Okay. All right, tell everybody, say hello.
Hi.
So how have you been enjoying your summer?
I've really been enjoying it.
You gotta speak up, babe.
I have been enjoying it.
Awesome. Everybody said that you're on the PlayStation. No, she's on the Switch, and she's probably not on the Switch. She's probably on her Nest Hub, because it does have parent restrictions. Or are you still making your presentation?
I finished my presentation, but now I'm on my computer just watching stuff.
Oh, are you watching Daddy?
No.
All right, you got to go. You gotta go for that. Give me my earpiece back.
Yeah.
You see that? She ain't even watching me.
I used to.
She used to. Now she's watching somebody else. Alrighty, folks. Let's see. Let's fire away at some questions here. Also, before I even get into that, that's the other thing I forgot. If you ever need any more help, folks, and if you go back and forth with me in emails, anything over 4 emails, I would highly recommend you just set up a consultation. Go to ajhomes.com/consultations. I need to merge all of these together so that I'm not paying for multiple websites. But that's what we're going to do. That was from my old website where I moved everything over to Squarespace. So I'm going to start consolidating some stuff. But anyway, go to ajhomes.com. So ajhomes.com/consultations. You can do a Zoom, do a phone call, or we can do an on-site. We got a bunch of on-sites coming up as well. Also, I have a buttload of backlog videos. Let me show you a new toy that we got. We have a miniature 2 HDMI switcher from the folks at OC, and boom, I actually already finished recording the video. I just haven't had a chance to actually finish editing it. And here it is, folks. So actually, I'm pressing the wrong button here. So this is what this is. We got a video coming out about this. This hasn't even been released yet. So really cool. Look on standby for this. You got mic in, line in, headphone out, HDMI in, HDMI in 2, and HDMI out, and a USB-C. You have your picture-in-picture in quadrants, the size increase. You got your input 1, input 2, your switching, and you have some limited stacking of features right here, pre-programmed ones. Really hoping, just be on the lookout for the review, but from a high level, really good. Don't know the price yet. I'm waiting to hear back from them. This should not be very expensive. I really think they need to have a software component, and they may have a software component so you can dial this in a little bit more. But I got this one. I haven't gotten any of that stuff yet, but be on the lookout for that. We still didn't finish doing the review of this yet. This is the Micro Cinema Camera 4K G2. Just have issues with some of the audio here. I mean, not the audio, the video. So it's taking a lot longer to edit that. I had the building of the Ryzen 5 8600G. I didn't do that video because the audio was messed up. And instead of me keeping that system, I'm actually giving that to another church because one of their systems messed up. The system that I built for them, the system that I got them was throwing some errors, and this was the easiest thing to do. So they got more of a beast of a system that I'm actually going to be delivering and installing for them right after this. And we got a bunch of stuff. We were over at Abundant Life, had to hang some projectors for a few funerals for overflow. We went to about 4 different other churches. I have about like 7 different projects that are coming up. And because of all of that, I am going on another vacation next month, which is, when am I going on that? That is going to be the August 16th through the 22nd. I'm going to be out of Dodge. So the 16th, we're not going to do a live stream. And the 23rd, I probably will be back for that. But helping a bunch of y'all folks is tiring. And then also been running back and forth all yesterday. Didn't celebrate the holiday. I was up at TCF because we were having some issues up there. So I was up there at 6 in the morning until around like 2, trying to get these ceiling speakers in place, running again because something blew in that controller. But anyway, I think that's enough blabbing. All right, so let's go to this one. I see that you promote the Sility PTZ controller, the one with the LCD screen. I've not been able to get the preset feature to work with neither PTZ optics or the AV cans. Please advise. Now, I don't have that one on hand to work with and go through here exactly, but let me see if I can get a picture of it and see what we can do. Take this down. And all right, my super source is done. Also, I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna redo all of this stuff, how I do my live stream. And one of the classes I'm teaching is the anatomy of a church live stream, which is gonna kind of go over that stuff, which is a part of the book that I had. So I'm assuming you're talking about this one. Now, I've stopped recommending this one because it all depends on this. So when you need to do the preset in here, I wish they had a top down so I can actually see the picture better. But when you do the preset, you're going to press that upper button right there. And let's see. I got 77% of the people said that they did not register for the conference. Oh, no. All right. So let's see if I can go over here. So this button right here where I'm over, that is the call. So when you set your position, you move the joystick to whatever position you want, hit set, and then your number. And then to call it, you just hit call and then that number. And that should work. Now, I've used this same one multiple times. I stopped recommending it only because some of them, and it depends the brand, not Facility, but other ones that use the same shell. The firmware doesn't always work and doesn't have the protocol that will talk to all of them. So that's the reason why I've stopped using some of them. But I would say that's really all you have to do with this, and that's how it's worked with me. And it doesn't matter the camera. All of the protocols are the same, and sending that command over Visca, over IP, or Visca, that will work this way. So let me know. Again, you just have to move it in a position, hit set, and then your number, and that's it. Now, another thing you could do is log into the camera itself, and then you can do presets. So like if I come in here, and in this camera, you can always set your stuff here just in case, and then see if you can press call and whatever number on the joystick to see if it responds. Just process of elimination to see where the disconnect is. Because setting the presets, all the presets are in the camera anyway, and you're sending it there, and just the trigger on the remote is just calling that action on the camera. So make sure you're doing it in that order, because that's how it's always worked for me. But let me know if you have any more issues with that. Jay, here, and that just reminded me about the person that just blasted past the road. Also, we're going to be going back to Mount Sinai. They haven't moved everything to the back yet. They haven't built the media booth yet, but they brought me over. We ordered a Persona stage box, and we're going to be relocating their sound system. Real simple, but we're going to get a chance to go through that configuration with that Personas board. That now, actually, that's coming in today. So I'm expecting a knock on the door pretty soon for that. And we're probably going to do that Monday or the following Monday. If it comes in today, I'm going to let Miss Lisa know, and we're going to do this Monday. But anyway, next question. Good morning. We have a Shure lavalier mic that our pastor uses that keeps cutting out. How can we keep this from happening? Well, I need a little bit more detail. Can you confirm that it's not cutting out because of the connection in the actual lavalier? Is the cabling intact? Next thing is the connection to the lavalier, to the mic, is that one intact? Then also the connector, is that one intact? If all of that is fine, and if it's cutting out, the next thing I would see is maybe it's interference, try and change the channel on that mic to something else. Those would be the first couple of things. Anytime I've seen that, most of the time it's been that the cable was damaged. But again, I don't understand exactly what you mean by cutting out, because cutting out digitally is like, oh, you're losing the signal, accident. It drops everything completely. Or is it cutting out to where the signal is stable, but it's losing audio and it's cutting out the audio from the actual unit that you're talking into, so that the transmitter can't transmit anything? It could be either one of those. So just need a little bit more detail on that one. Okay, I already answered that. Let's see the next one here. Mr. Albert, I am heading out on a trip to Canada and Spain, but I still need to access my Mac Mini back home. Anyone have any tips on how I can remotely? I know some streamers. Chrome Remote Desktop is the best one for that. I've used that when I was in Ireland. It got me access to all of that good stuff. So he said, my Rob was saying my room looks like my loft. Looks like your loft. And back to Michael, he was asking about the sessions. I thought I answered it, but if I didn't, let me go in here and just show you. Let me go in the back end of this so you can actually see the sessions here. All right, so as we go in here, our sessions, we have them in time sections. Again, at 8, it's me. Just talking about the whole premise of the emissionary mission, why we did this in the first place. Then Rob is teaching on casting the nets on the other side. That's at 9. And honestly, you may be able to just go from beginning to end. And it looked like I didn't copy over the description. Oh, no, I just didn't have a description on some of those. Anyway, his is at 9 to 10. Then we got Augustine teaching on how to make sermon clips and shorts. Audio engineering in the modern church. That's Chris teaching on that. That's at 10. We have Brian Jones teaching on choosing the best tech for you. That's at 11. The biblical importance of media. That is Rosalind West is teaching that at noon. Audio and content best practices from Sure Solutions. That's Mario teaching that. And I need to add presenter on there. Mr. Albert Edwards, the guy who is going to Spain and Canada, he is teaching Unleashing the Power of live streaming your ministry with NDI 6. We have Websites and SEO by Ramon. We have me teaching, and I'm sorry, I didn't tell the times of what that is. Websites and SEOs at 1. Mr. Albert is at 1 because we have 3 sessions, 3 classrooms that you would join. So we can have all 3 of these going at the same time. These are the first couple of sessions that are actually going on at the same time. I am teaching the anatomy of a church live stream. That is at 2. Mine is an hour and a half, so we're going to be talking for a minute on that one. Then we have Mike from Canada teaching on Bit Focus Companion, More Than a Friend, a Powerful Ally. His is at 3. Francisco is teaching Media Ministry Volunteer to Expectations at 4. Mr. Bruce is teaching Documenting Your Media Ministry. That's also at 4. AI and Media for Churches. That's Dr. Ayano. He's teaching that at 4. So we got 3 sessions going on at 4 in different classrooms. We got Dominic teaching Worship Tools Presenter at 5. And the man, the myth, and the legend, Josh, is teaching Elevating Photography Skills and Social Media Management at 6:30. After that, we have a full conference roundtable. If you've never been a part of the roundtables, this is awesome. This is just for everybody who is at the conference. This is going to be from 7:40, it says, to 10. Sometimes we go shorter. Sometimes we go longer. It's just meant for us to just sit down and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to media ministry and just being able to talk with other people that you're dealing with. And Monty, I think I didn't update your time. This needed a time that you want to teach your session, Monty. If you let me know that, we'll be good. And I have Church Digital Marketing, David. If you're there, I didn't get your time either. Those are 2 sessions that we need to schedule. But again, instantly when this session is over, you'll be able to come back in here and watch the replays. Obviously, there's nothing in here right now because we haven't done anything except for some test streams, but all of your classes will be here in a replay. Now, in the conference, 8 months from now, that's when we're going to upload everything to YouTube. So you're going to get an 8-month head start on everybody if you go inside the conference, and you'll be able to actually talk with the instructors. It's just not me, it's other folks as well. All righty, I hope that's stalled and gave some people some time to ask some more questions. Derek T., what in-ear monitors are you using? What's the best custom brand? Well, it all depends. I've used X-Vive. I've used the Behringer ones that actually clip on your hip. I've used both of those. It all depends on the flexibility. Who's the in-ear monitor is going to be for? Is it for the musicians or for the singers? Normally with the musicians, because they're not moving around, I've used the P16s. And then the X-Vives could work, but I normally do the P16 so it can give them more control to adjust their audio to any level that they want. But let me know, who is it for, the musicians or the choir, and we'll go from there. Anthony, yes, she is. And Rob, yes, she is adorable. Let's see. Pat, I will let her know that you said hello. Hopefully, and that little poke made her want to actually watch. MA16V3. I'm sending Multiview out of the USB port to my A10 Mini Extreme and feeding it into OBS. OBS is running NDI tools on another PC. I fire up the ATEM software and OBS to pick up the NDI feed. I am thinking this would be good to use as a way to train new switcher ops. Sounds cool. Yeah, I think that would be good, because then that way you can send it on Studio and everybody can see it in different locations if they just happen to be in another place as well. Also, that reminded me, I was at Word of God Fellowship. I didn't do that video either. Going to be looking at enhancing their sanctuary as well too. So we got a lot of stuff that's been popping up. Can I do y'all asking about this? I will have the video do it, but let's see. Let's do an impromptu with this one. So we're gonna hook up a camera to this. Use my Sony for this. And it's pretty much just like a switcher, but it cannot do live streaming. You have to connect it to some type of software component. All right, so we're hooking up one camera, and cables are all in the way. Also, I didn't mention this. Brian, I want to give Brian a big thank you. Last live stream, I had a snafu and dropped my cup of water, and it spilled everywhere. But Brian, thank you, sir. He went and sent me this, if I can get my mic out the way, this little cup holder that locks onto here. So, Brian, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So my water is up out of the way, and hopefully I will not drop it or knock it over. So anyway, we're going to connect this in to HDMI 1. I am going to get an HDMI cable. And it has an HDMI out, so you can feed this to another TV to see it. I am going to connect this to my mic, if I could speak, my camera in so you can see what I see. And let's do one more camera. We'll do the Micro Cinema camera, 4K G2, long name. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hook my computer up to it so you can see. So we got this over here. So if you see my setup right here, that's what we got. And it's powered over USB-C. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. It keeps throwing an error for me. Not an error. I think it's a firmware issue. It keeps saying that they recommend this has to be plugged into USB 3.0, which is the only thing I have on this system. But it keeps acting like I'm not connected to USB 3.0. It keeps showing an error on the screen. All right, so everything is up. Now let's cut over to the desktop and let's open up the OBS. All right, so as you can see, that's that error that I was talking about. Please connect to a USB 3.0. I think that's a driver issue, a firmware issue, because everything I have on here is 3.0. So if I come up here and switch this, well, that's my computer. Let me actually hook it up to another camera so you can actually see what it's doing. And I've got no space for this camera. All right, so if I switch this and I can press directly number 2 on here and it switches here, or I can press the transition button and see it does the same thing. See, that's why I'm hoping that a software component will allow me to adjust the timing on how the switches. And as you can see, it's stuttering like this because I don't think it's actually pushing out and leveraging 100% the USB 3.0. I am in a USB-C connection back directly to the motherboard, so there's no reason why. I mean, that is definitely, yes, USB 3.2, and this is the same cable that's registered everywhere. I have no idea why it's doing that. But as you can see, we can get audio from that as well. So there's the GoStream M2, and that's why I'm pulling audio as well there. So there's no way for me to turn off that I don't only want audio coming from the camera in here. There's no component. Hopefully that's going to be made. But like I said, for this to be so tiny, I think this would be a game changer for people who are, you want to up your game with your pastor, put this there. And it's real simple. Again, this works with any program. So you can actually have this output into Zoom if you want to. My premise of doing this, saying you have somebody that's teaching and doing something from a church standpoint, and they want to be able to do presentations, they can have their computer plugged into this and put scripture, the notes or whatever. The other camera is them. Now you still need OBS or something like that, Zoom or whatever, to go from that. So this isn't a standalone type of thing. But again, I'm waiting to see what the price is. I'm saying it right now without them telling me what the price is, and I didn't see it in the email. If this thing is over $200, I'm going to say it's not worth it because their bigger one is $295 that does streaming. If this is sub $100, this is one of those things that needs to just stay in your backpack and make this available for anything. So I think that's really cool. Be on the lookout for that video when I finish editing that. One of the issues I had is my back camera started showing text every time it went to tracking. I don't know why all of a sudden that's showing. So that's just me. I don't like showing that stuff. But anyway. Monty, that device looks familiar. I bet. Mike, compared to the original A10 Mini, this gives you all the same features. And I didn't even click over for you to see the output. It shows. Let me connect this back real quick. I was rushing so fast going through the stuff, I didn't even do that. I'll do this camera because it's closest. And let's see what shows up on the HDMI output. So it's pretty much just the camera. That's all it is. So if I cut over to 2, it's that. There's no multi-view. There's nothing like that. Again, I don't know what's inside of it. I would assume maybe a software component could do something like that, but that's all that shows up from there. So if I cut over here again so you can see, that's all we got there, and it's connected over to the HDMI 2, and that's what's going on. So that's about it. All right, so now let me unplug everything. And again, I just don't. Now I was gonna say you didn't see the message because that's HDMI, so it shouldn't show the USB-C error. But Monty, if it's what I think it is, are you seeing that same thing? Let me know. But in comparison to this, it does the same thing the A10 Mini does, except for the A10 Mini has 4 inputs. This one doesn't. And I'm really hoping they do have a software component on this. And to be honest, this is lighter than my Osmo Action camera. So this is lighter than this. So really cool that more tech is coming out there. MA16V3, that 2 input switcher. Am I looking at a potential external ME? My brain is rushing through the possibilities. It's possible. I mean, this could be joined into any of these switches, even the original OC Go Stream Deck, and this will give you some more input, excuse me. You can have this go into, out of the 4 inputs, you can have the output of this go into here, and that gives you 2 more cameras. So pretty cool. Peter, hello from Botswana. Awesome. Rob, no, that roundtable is just for the conference. That's going to be on Saturday. Our regular bi-weekly is still going to be on Sunday. Normally from the conference, we just had a roundtable to have everybody who typically wouldn't join a conference, a roundtable, and it's just conference specific. Antonio, AJ, can you tell me how to get my Famaco PTZ camera in focus? We're having trouble trying to refocus it after moving it around. All right, well, let's see. So if we go to that camera, the one I have over here to my left is the Famaco. Maybe I should hook it back up. All right. So if we come in here and we go to image, make sure if you're having an issue with the focus, I would go log into the camera and make sure you go to PTZ, and then you want to set your autofocus zone. You can put the location of where you want. Center is best for me. How sensitive you want it. High works for me because it's just me in here. You might want to change it to normal because anywhere else, like at Signs and Wonders, when I did, I had to turn it down because it's so much stuff going on. It was focusing all over the place. Make sure that's on. And then also on your joystick, make sure autofocus is on. And it could be turned off. That would be the first thing if it's losing it and it's not turning back on. Because right here, you can just set the sensitivity and the location. But on the joystick, make sure autofocus is on. So like for me, if I punch in actually on that camera, number 2, and at least with this joystick, if I can punch in a little bit more. See, my autofocus is right down here. If I turn that off, and then I mean, it's still doing good because I'm not that far away. But if I, now I purposely put it out of focus, which is strange because mine is jumping back even when I manually put it out of focus. But if I turn on autofocus, see, it instantly went there. But it looks like when I move it, all right, see, it's still out of focus there. So, yeah. So make sure your joystick, there should be a button on there to make it go to autofocus. I press mine, and it makes it go back. I would check that. Go inside the settings of the camera itself. Make sure those autofocus ones are on. Then on your joystick, make sure the autofocus is on. If it's not, you don't have a button on that, break out the remote, and then you can go that way and turn it back on. Brima, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. That is a loaded question. What is the best camera to use for church? It depends what the camera is going to be used for. Are you using something just for still photography, for B-roll? Are you using it for live streaming? I need to know the context of how it needs to be used, because any camera will work, but I need to know what the role of what it's going to be. Let me cut back, and I had a follow-up. Need to remember what context this is. All right, so Anthony was saying that he tried those buttons to use with the joystick, but it was not working. Now, are you able to call up a preset that you saved directly in the camera? Like, can you go to the, like what I just did? Like, I can go here and see, I can call this preset up. So like when I normally start, that's preset number 1 that goes out here and looks at my on air sign, and then preset number 2 comes back to me. Can you do this? I want to make sure that there are presets there in the first place before we can call anything. Try that, and then we can work from there. Trizzy Trey. Any reason why my Streamlabs is outputting 720p to YouTube when I have everything from Streamlabs settings to camera settings set up at 1080p 30? I don't know. Let's see. I guess I don't have it on here anymore. Streamlabs. Let me download it and go in there real quick. We'll download the app, and I will circle back to you once we, it's already downloaded. So let's go ahead and get that all installed and see what we can do. And I will actually test this on one of our classrooms for the conference. The beauty of Vimeo, we can actually have 3 live streams going on concurrently. And of course, she put it on the wrong screen. I don't want it on that screen. I want it on this one. See, it's still saving off all my old stuff. All right, so let's go here. And actually, hold on. Let me cut back, because if it saved my settings, I'm wondering if it carried over everything. Okay, it didn't. Give me 1 second to put my streaming key in here, and we're going to test this out. I'm actually going to go to my test stream one instead of going to the one for the conference. Streaming key, streaming URL. All right, so we're here. And so when you do the output, if you go to output, no, not here, video, excuse me, video, this is what's going to send out. So can you confirm that here under your output is at 1080 and it's not at the frame? Because if I streamed right now, it would push it out at 1080 at 30, but I want to bump it up to 60. And I am going to link this. Great day, this is old. That's the camera I started with, my webcam. So they must have kept these settings over for a long time. My Black Magic is not showing as an option, which I think is interesting. Let's add one here. Video capture device, yes. Add the source. Why is that not showing? Oh, because ProPresenter is holding my, no? That's strange. Let me break out the, let me break this out again. We'll use this as a camera input. I should mount this camera up as many times I've had to disconnect it in our stream today. Put that right there. And let's connect this back up. All right. So now, do I have an input now? It's not showing any of my options. Oh, it was up at the top. Oh, that's strange. But why is my M2 not showing? Whatever. We'll just use the black magic. I don't know. So we got that there. Let's go live. And now, if we go over to the Vimeo, go to my live events. Oh, showing too much there. So we're here, and now let's go to the actual link, and let's see what we're streaming at. So yeah, it's putting it out. I would just check those two locations. Make sure that under video, under the settings, is actually set to 1080p when it's out, because that's what determines what's actually going to your stream. And I don't know why this isn't showing up for me, as in this one. I just had it connected there. All righty. Where is my super suit? My comments. There we go. Let's see where we left off at. Kal-El. I watched your video on the Blackmagic 9.5, which now is 9.51. I need to download that myself. Will you show a quick setup to use it in vMix? I'm missing a step or something because I can't get my laptop camera to connect to use the webcam. You can't get your laptop. All right, I need a little bit more information. So first, which switcher are you using? And are you trying to see the ATEM show up as webcam? Is that what you're saying? Let me know, and we'll go from there. Back to Jay. He's saying the lavalier is brand new. I've checked the wires. As Pastor is speaking, there are times the mic drop, then picks back up. We changed the channel also. Sure, BLX41 lavalier. Yeah, if it's brand new, something is conflicting somewhere. What other wireless stuff did you have? And I know you changed your channel, but I'm just wondering, it could be some rogue stuff there that could be causing an issue, or maybe even the XLR cable or whatever cable that you have coming from it into your mixer. Have you switched those as well too? Rob was saying he needs that for his coffee cup. Jerry. The controller, if more than one camera, select camera 1 enter, set recall, preset 3 enter. With companion and stream deck, one button will recall camera resets. Thank you. I think Mike is going to talk about that as well too, but thank you for that. Back to Trey. I'm getting out there in the business of church install. I have install experience with my job and really want to start my own business. Any advice? Start. That's honestly, you have to build up a reputation of people that trust, and you build up a portfolio that people can reference and look back at your work. That's kind of where I started at. Started with Antioch, then went to Gates of Faith, then went to Signs and Wonders, and then I don't recall after that. But was able to reference back to multiple other ones, and then that actually builds on itself. So you got to start with your reputation, build that, and make sure that wherever you start, that you leave it a good state to where it's like if anybody comes back behind you, they're not second guessing what you've done. Now, from a business standpoint, I don't know where you're located. Get yourself a business account, get registered with the state, federal. If you're in the U.S., do that. Get liability insurance. I use Next. Mine just actually renewed this morning. They're really cheap. They're like for $2 million in liability, it's like $25 a month to cover what I'm doing. Oh, also, disclaimer, this is not legal advice or business advice. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes only. If I am not a lawyer, you need all that other stuff. All right, so don't come back and say, well, AJ told me that. No, I don't do that. But also, get yourself a business account. I have multiple business accounts. I have one with Lily, Novo, Blue Vine, and thankfully, and I don't know why all the other banks don't do this, none of them charge a monthly fee in any way, shape, or form. Do that. Put everything in your business name and do everything that way. So that's a business thing. And I've been meaning to do a video just talking about how I've run my business. I'll probably do that at a later time. Philip Paul, hey AJ, can I extend my USB 3.0 from my PC to get easy access to transfer data from my pen drive using the USB 3.0 male to female? Will that drop the transfer time when we extend the port? Well, I mean, how far are you trying to extend it? Would be my first thing. And technically, no, but again, it won't drop. But again, it depends on how far away it is. Monty. All right, let me know, sir. Let's see. JW Son 1. Hey, AJ, my Famako won't change or take my internet IP. In other words, I don't see it. They have an IP address of 192.168.5.163, and I can't change it. When I try to look for it on the website, it doesn't show. Which Famako that you have an older version? That's strange. Normally it should. I've never seen it to. Now, sometimes I've seen the wording has been wrong. The English was off. So, granted, I could turn on the other one I have access to, but I don't want to mess with the church that's doing that. But like in here, typically the wording on here was wrong. It was actually backwards. I learned that the hard way, and you would just change the IP address right here. What does it say in here? So when you set here, set it to fix, set your IP address, and hit submit, it doesn't hold the change. Is that what you're saying? Let me know. D Green, there's a Facebook group called Facility Detect Support Group that may be able to help diagnose issues. Thank you for that. Back to MA16. Anyone else experiencing an issue with Vimeo where the upload will fail because Chrome randomly crashes? I used to have that, and I had to start it over again. I haven't had it in a while, mainly because I don't upload anything directly there. Either DaVinci Resolve uploads to them directly, or the upload is from the live stream. So I haven't done it in a minute. Monty. Well, I started with the Logitech 922. I wish I had that camera to refer back to when people say, how'd you get started? No, I actually gave that away to somebody. I remember I still had it. I have one, though. It's the newer version, but it's still kind of what I started with. So when everybody's like, I don't have the fancy stuff, you heard it here. This is what me and Monty started out with, something like this. And this actually graduated to becoming my overhead camera. And I had a long USB extension cable. That's when I learned the extent of how far you can use USB cables and all that other stuff. Is it the GOAT? Yeah. John. We had trouble with the Shure BLX body pack systems. We switched to the Shure SLXD systems, and the difference is night and day. We always had intermittent issues with the BLX systems, no matter what. Thank you for that. See, that's the beauty of this as well. Trizzy Trey, get out of here. I'm in Central Virginia in Lynchburg, and we'll be starting business there. That's my hometown. Sweet. Well, hey, if you do good work, I will push other people there so I don't have to drive back to Lynchburg. But awesome. Akan, good afternoon from London. I wanted to go back to London again for my birthday, but we're going to Bimini and Dominican instead. Good afternoon from London. How much RAM would I need on a computer if I were to do edits, go live through OBS and multiple output projectors? I wouldn't do nothing less than 16, but to do all of that, go for 32. If you're using DDR4 is very, very cheap right now in comparison. That's why the other system that I'm giving this church, I'm kind of jealous. It's 32 gigs of DDR5. Which I really, really, really wanted to keep that system, but I want to make sure that they are good. So right now, if I went with 32 gigs or even 64, like 32 gigs right now is $60. So you can double that up, and you can even go, well, that's 3,000 megahertz. I would go with 32 or 3,600 megahertz. But even then, I mean, you're looking at like 60, or even with the G Skill, I've used this a lot too. That's $54. So you can go with 64 gigs of memory, and you're right just over $100. That's what I would do in that case. This system I'm at right now, this is running, and I can't remember what's on my current system. And I do all my edits on this main system. Yeah, so my main system right now is I have 64 gigs of memory in this one. My live streaming system is 32, and my other system over here, which is doing the stream to my website, which is my original, that was a Ryzen 9 that's over here to my left. The original one that I had my own cast server on, that is, how much memory is on that? Yeah, so it's 32, 64 on here. That's what I run on here. So I wouldn't do anything less. I mean, honestly, if you buy a computer, don't get anything less than 16 gigs. But if you're doing all of that, 32 or higher would be best. Ruben Gamer. Hi, AJ. I have an old i3 PC set up running ProPresenter and 2 cameras, and I'm undecided whether to buy an A10 Mini Pro or upgrade my PC by buying used parts like the GTX 1660 and a R5 3600. Well, the 1660 would give you more performance over that. The Ryzen 5 is going to be night and day difference compared to the i3. Honestly, the i3, you would benefit from that overall upgrade. That would set you up further, because even if you got the A10 Mini Pro, you're going to be limited on multi-view or full screen, or you're going to have the A10 Mini Pro do the live streaming, and the USB out is going to give you the multi-view like that MA16v3 was talking about with the update of 9.5. Personally, I would go with the computer. The A10 Mini Pro would benefit, but sooner or later, the computer is going to be the bottleneck sooner or later. Even though that's an older system, a 3600, that's going to last you a while, because I think Antioch, I upgraded their stuff maybe like 6 years ago, and they're still running on a 2700X on all 3 systems, and they're chugging along fine. They actually need a new hard drive. But I would go with the GPU and the CPU and motherboard first, then that. Jay, Thank you all for all the troubleshooting options suggested. Awesome. See, that's the beauty of the community. Philip Paul is saying 1.5 to 2 meters. I mean, I think you should be fine for that. Yeah, that's just 6 feet. That won't impact anything. I thought you were talking about like 20, 30, 40, something like that. You should be fine. Basilier, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Hello. So Jason is saying you can't even get into the firmware. I mean, you can't even get into the camera. What you should do is change the IP address on your computer to something in that range of 192.168.5. something. Then you should be able to get to the page. Can you recommend a good PTZ for $500 with good image quality? The AVCans E20 goes for sub. Let's actually look at it, what it is right now. I'm actually getting ready to do an upgrade for Runnymede and adding these cameras in there. So looking at it right now, that camera is going for $389. And I've purchased this one. And this one is actually the new one that has NDI on it as well, too. So this is a deal. And that's actually, I've installed this in quite a few churches, and they are very happy with it. Let's see. I'll put a link here, AVCans E20. There you go. Sporty43607. My name is Angela. Is it possible to connect 2 output TVs with the A10 Mini Pro? Yes, you would just need to introduce a splitter to that. Something like this. This is exactly what I have for another church to do the same thing. So you would just this is going to feed output to 2 digital walls, but we're going to come out from an ATEM from here, and then it just splits this way. Or you can get other ones. I have a 1x8 under this desk here, and I got another 1x4 up under here. But yes, I have the 1x4 coming from my ATEM. It splits to the computer over here, the computer over here, and the screen back there that you see. So yes, you can. Let's see, I'm missing. Hold on. Small World grew up on Campbell Avenue. Are you serious? I'm down off of Richmond Highway. So Campbell Avenue was like literally a 5-minute drive. My dad's old school, Eastern Theological Seminary, was on Campbell Avenue. So how far are you away from First Baptist South Lynchburg? That's on Campbell Avenue before you go over 29 to go to downtown. But then also Campbell Avenue. How far you pass where you pass the Burger King and going down the hill to go to the Food Line and all that other stuff right there? Because that's how far away I was. Bruce, I'm using the 922 right now and have been since COVID started. My internal camera died at some point due to non-use in the 2010s. Yeah, they're good cameras. They still work. Word to the wise, for video production, RAM capacity is more important than speed. Speed is great until you run out, but if you run out, performance absolutely tanks your world. Yeah, and that's the reason why, honestly, I want to get this system to 128, mainly because Adobe is trash. And actually, Adobe got in some serious trouble recently for their manipulative, greedy purposes of holding people hostage for breaking their subscriptions. But mainly, I have 64 gigs in here. I open up After Effects, and they're like, "You're out of memory." I was like, "No, your program is trash. I can edit 4K and 8K and have no issue with DaVinci Resolve, but After Effects has a problem. But want to throw more memory at it because I don't right now. I was sitting back thinking about it. I really have no need to upgrade my GPU. Have no reason to upgrade my CPU. The only thing I would really do is memory right now for that same purpose. All right, we talked about that. And let's go back here saying, thank you for answering the question. I asked because our current computer has 16 gigs of RAM. However, the performance isn't always constant. And it causes the computer to crash. It might be something else that's causing that. If you are running ProPresenter, I just gave a church ProPresenter and it crashed. And I was like, they were like, well, why is it crash? I was like, because that's ProPresenter. ProPresenter is the GOAT. It's the standard, but it's still buggy. It still will crash. And I just need people to understand that. Like, DaVinci Resolve is great. It crashes on me sometimes. Not all the time. After Effects crashes almost all the time. Photoshop doesn't. It's one thing to separate, is the program the problem or the system the problem? Because I would say if you're running a bunch of stuff, it might just be too much stuff is running on it. I would say look at Task Manager, see what the performance is, how much CPU is being used, how much memory is being used. No. Not going to dox where I'm at now, where I used to live. But nah, even the stuff I told you about home, I'm still nowhere close to that. So, I live on the same street of First Baptist Church. My grandparents live on Campbell across Valley Fasteners. Eastern Theological is at my church, Diamond Street Baptist Church now. Oh, yeah, because they're doing a graduation because this time last year is when they gave me my doctorate. So, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, my dad's school, Eastern Theological, has started. Awesome. Rob says, get a Mac. No! HS Audio. Hey, AJ. Hi, all. AJ, our TV in the Fellowship Hall TV has a screen flicker. It was fine direct from the AVCast 20X at 30 frames per second fiber. Now it is from the Windows PC through the Aura 1x4 older Vizio 99. Most likely, make sure that the frame rate didn't change. The fiber optic cable can handle up to 60 frames a second. The flickering would be now it's from the PC. Through an Aura. Make sure that the piece. Well, I mean, I don't know the type of cable that you got. Fiber optic ones I use go up to 60 and higher, and it hasn't had any issues. Make sure the PC. What's the resolution that the PC is showing up as the resolution that's being sent to the HDMI? It could be that it's at a higher resolution, or more importantly, frequency / frames per second is being sent to that. We need to see it where that is. MA16V3 with the perfect follow-up comment that I need people to understand, which is so true. Everything is buggy because software is written by people. Exactly. And back to HS Audio, we did a firmware update and factory reset. That made everything worse. What ended up happening after that? Monty, no, I hope this isn't about getting a Mac. No. Only reason I say that is because TCF got a Mac, and this is a note to y'all. This is an issue that I had with TCF. The Ultra Studios from Blackmagic. Let me actually look here. Those were the ones that used to work specifically with the Macs, but they do not work with any of the M1, M2, M3. Because we were going to use that. They insisted on wanting to have a Mac. And the Thunderbolt one, none of these work with the M1s. I bought one myself. It shows up, but the software doesn't talk to it. I don't know if it's Intel or some license that they won't talk to it. But the Thunderbolt and the 3.0 does not work with this. I have used every version of software. It does not show. So that's the one thing that I would say, and that just made me think about that when you were talking about that, because I know a lot of people want to have a Mac. I have no issue with hate with the Mac, but it's just they're very finicky on what devices can work. And honestly, the only thing I can think to do something like this, and some depending on the Mac that you get, it only supports a certain amount of displays. And then you got to get an expensive dock to give you other display outs. Then you have to have a display out, then convert it to SDI. That's the issue that was going on with TCF. But Rob was saying, if you get a Mac, try all of that on the new M3 and you won't be sorry. I'm sure that will work. The only issue that I have is just how many display outs I can have with it. Last Sunday, I decided to check the CPU and OBS, and the CPU is at 97. That's the problem. You need either a GPU that will offload all of that work from OBS. At no point in time, I'm just gonna say it right now. If anybody is still using any type of streaming software, OBS, whatever, and your CPU is over 60%, you need to add a GPU or you need to upgrade your system. 97% is way too high. 50% is too high for it to handle all of the workload of your PC and the live streaming. It's too much. Rob, no, not the M3. I'm still on the original M1. I barely ever use it, but I do use it for my Adobe stuff because even though that's a pain, Adobe is still After Effects is still a pain on that. It doesn't crash as much as Windows. This system is 5 times more powerful than my M1, but for whatever reason, Adobe is just they do their code right on Mac, and they just are lazy when it comes to Windows. Just in my honest opinion. Back to HS Audio. After the update and reset, the picture was flickering through the startup process. That's strange. Very, very strange. I would make sure if you did that firmware update, make sure that you didn't accidentally put the wrong firmware one on. That's why I wish they would just do an automatic firmware update that it would read the camera and pull down the right one. That's why I'm so hesitant about changing stuff like that on occasion. All right, folks, it is 11:30, and what I'm thinking about doing is a couple other things that I have going on. I got to get up to that church, get them straight, and then my daughter's been with me for the whole month. She's going back to her mom, so we got to have some more daddy-daughter time here in a little bit. Probably go get some ice cream or something like that, but she didn't hear that because she ain't watching me. If she was watching me, she would run downstairs. But let's do this last one. Rob, Mac Studio 2022 model support up to 5 external displays simultaneously based on the resolution. Yeah, and I think, Rob, that's what they were going to do until they saw the price. So it's been interesting. But hey, folks, thank you so much for being on here. Thank you for the patience. I mean, I got a lot of stuff, and I need to hunker down and get the stuff done. But again, next Saturday, again, folks, if you've never been a part of one of our conferences, we're looking at making this an annual type of thing. I'm not trying to make it so super duper expensive to where it's out of the reach of everybody. And then we have over 65,000 subscribers here, and I know some of y'all are experts in certain areas. This isn't the AJ show. This is one of those things I want to put a platform to where you can share your knowledge with other ministries because, again, it's for all of us to win together. And some of y'all are skilled in some stuff that other ministries are lacking. This gives you a platform that you can teach with them. Also, the intention is to have a in-person component as well, too, because the big dream of this is to have this conference every single year, and we're in multiple countries so that it can reach and educate anybody in media ministry anywhere. That's the vision of where I want this to go. So we started online and 2 years ago. We're doing it again. And then next year I want to have, it's always going to be online, but I want to have it in person to where the vision is to build this channel, build the influence big enough to where we can bring in companies like we have Shure. Thank you, Monty, for that connection. The Shure will be here. Panasonic, Sony, Bose, AV-Cans, Formaco, PTZ Optics. I want to be able to have a platform and a conference place to where we have like a convention hall they set this stuff up, and now you can actually walk and talk, touch the hardware that's main catered. The whole conference is for nothing but media ministry and sharing the message online through technology. That's the vision where this is. You can have a demo there, see all this tech. They can demo new stuff, but at the same time, you can go to a classroom, go to a class, do video editing, learn audio engineering, and we have a demo room with all the equipment set up. And say you have your choir, your band, your praise team, they can come in and they can be professionally recorded. But at the same time, you have experts there with new equipment. Your team can come in and get their hands on new equipment that you're looking at trying to do and sample it. And people can come in and get a custom edit recording, all this other stuff. That's the vision of where this is wants to go with this. And it will be in multiple countries. So it's not just catered to Virginia on the East Coast, but we do all the time zones here in the United States, but then also in Asia, Europe, Africa, the Caribbean, Mexico, South America. We want to be able to do it everywhere. That's the vision of where it is. And you know what they say, make a vision that's so big that it's impossible that you can't do it. God has to be involved. So that's kind of the thought about it. Let me do these last 5, and then we're going to be up out of here. Philip Paul wants to know, any suggestions for a static camera to capture projector screen? Why are you using a camera to capture the projector screen? Why not just duplicate the projector screen and have it directly connect instead of a camera? Give me the logic behind that so I can understand why you're what was the purpose that you want to do that. MA16V3, when it comes to Apple Silicon, Apple actively prevents some companies from having functional drivers for their stuff. Wonder why you can't run an external GPU on M chips. Apple is why. Exactly. That's why some of the stuff I don't like. How do we add a GPU to our computer? We have an all-in-one. Nah. Yeah, you would have to move. Unless you get an external one like MA16V3 says you can get one, but by the time you pay for that, you could just get a desktop that you can grow. I don't do any of those all-in-ones ever because of that very same issue. Rob, thank you very much. Bruce, thank you very much. And I think, where's the registration? If you go to Media Ministry Mentor, if you go to the main page, just click on the conference, and then you just join conference right there. You sign up, you'll make a login, all this other stuff. Also, just to let you know, if you log in, you cannot share your password with other people. It only lets one person log in. So again, once you do that, and then you'll be able to get access to the back pages where everything is. So I think that's about it. Want to give a big shout out to Patreon and YouTube member supporters. They've been helping me for quite a while, and I want to give a big thank you for that. If you like what we do here, folks, again, I don't get paid from any of these folks. It's like the stuff that I do is what helps fund this channel, and supporters like the ones that are on the screen. That's what they do. So if you like what we do and you appreciate the work that we do in helping train media ministries all over, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can click the join button down below this video to help out. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. And thank you so much for that. And if no one's ever told you, folks, thank you for what you are doing. Things have really been difficult the last couple of days, and I understand with a lot of stuff. But I just want to say that if no one's ever told you, I appreciate you for what you're doing. A lot of the stuff that we do is very thankless, and that's why I want to use the platform I'm at to thank you. And the reason I say that, and I'm not trying to shame nobody when I say this, I do a lot of stuff, and I don't get thank yous like that I would really like. I don't do it for the thank you, but a thank you helps. That's why I want to do this, to tell you thank you. I'm not at your ministry. I'm not sitting in your sanctuary. I'm not watching your live stream, but I want to thank you for what you're doing because you were called to do this. And I appreciate all the extra time. I appreciate the time that you sit here to watch my videos to help you get better in whatever you're doing, and anybody else that you're watching. I really appreciate that. And I want to thank you for what you're doing because what you're doing is helping the Great Commission. That's what it's all about. And I hope what I do helps you answer your questions and get to what you need to help you move further on. So I hope all of y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. We will have a roundtable this Sunday. because last week something came up, so I had to change that. So regular roundtable is this Sunday. Next Saturday at the conference, we have a roundtable just for the people on the conference. That's on Saturday. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you. Love you. I hope you have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is, and we'll be catching y'all on the next video, folks. Later.